right, everybody, welcome to Cal Sports Network. Arizona Diamondbacks going to the World Series, and we're joined by my fellow Arizonan, Marty Lurie.
You must be dreaming. Are you dreaming? Really say that Arizona won the pennant? Did Arizona really win the pennant?
Wow. All I can say is just wow. It's going to be a fun World Series. Boch coming back to a familiar place, Chase Field. And we got ourselves kind of a Cinderella World Series with Arizona and Texas in a sense because of Bochy. It's a feel-good World Series.
Yeah, I'm not sure MLB wanted this one. It's going to be a little tough to sell Texas and Arizona to the nation. But look, the Phillies probably, one of the biggest, call it a choke, but let's face it, the 86 Angels looked like they had the thing wrapped up. And of course, the Red Sox then took it away. And this one, it looked like the Phillies got after the first two games had this thing wrapped up. How are the Diamondbacks ever going to win 4 out of 5? And they came back and got better each game. And they actually turned into a better baseball team at the end. And they were convincing in winning yesterday and winning today. Those are 2 convincing wins, 2 good baseball games, National League kind of games. And the Diamondbacks actually played it really well. They got speed. They had good starting pitching. Merrill Kelly was great yesterday. But the difference is the bullpen. And Texas is going to have to deal with this. The Texas bullpen is kind of a mess. And you don't know what's going to happen there. And this Diamondback bullpen, you give them a lead after the 6th inning, and they can take it home. Look, the Giants did this. We know how the Giants play, and they tried to make a 6-inning game out of it. And for a good part of the season, they did until it fell apart. But the Diamondbacks put it together now, and they've got it going heading into the World Series. And look, they catch the ball. They've got good speed. They don't hit home runs. They don't, when they need to, they can, but they don't. They go the other way. Look how many hits they got to right field or up the middle tonight.
Yep.
I mean, it was just fabulous the way they did it. The Phillies are just swinging from their heels, trying to knock one out, and you can't do that. You got to play some baseball, and the Diamondbacks played better ball. They really did.
Yep.
So congratulations to them. They got a good manager, a terrific pitching coach, and this kid Carroll is the real deal. I mean, he is the real deal, and he's going to be National League Rookie of the Year.
Oh yeah,
and he won this game for the Diamondbacks tonight. He was the difference tonight.
He was.
Yeah, and the question up there from PK Man, yes, Marty will be at the World Series games in Arizona.
Yeah, I'll be there Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Let's hope there's a Wednesday. It's not. Let's hope it's not a 4-game.
Yeah. I never think that's going to happen.
Yeah,
but
rarely.
I'm assuming that I'll see 3 games. I saw all the NLCS games here. They were terrific, and I saw the game against the Dodgers when they hit the 4 home runs in 1 inning.
Oh, that was something. Was something.
So I've seen this team really develop, and they catch the ball. They really do. They play good defense. Marte is hot as can be. And Perdomo, you guys don't remember way back in the 70s, there was a Boston Red Sox little infielder, Denny Doyle, had this tremendous World Series against the Cincinnati Reds, and he came out of nowhere. And, said, who is Denny Doyle? He ended up with, 10 hits in the World Series, and the Red Sox eventually lost. And anytime some unknown player comes up and has a great series, I always say it's Denny Doyle. He's back. And Perdomo was Denny Doyle.
Doyle.
Yeah. You expect nothing out of Perdomo at all. And He hit a home run. He played great defense. He could steal a bag. And he got a lot. What did he have? 7 or 8 hits, I think, in the series.
Yeah. Hey, Senior, I wasn't referring to the D-backs in 4. I was thinking if there's a sweep, it's Texas in 4.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I don't think that happens. I think it's probably a 6-game, maybe a 7-game. You never know. You just hope for a good, entertaining series as a fan of baseball.
It's you know that, and Texas has got Evaldi, they've got Montgomery. Then who knows what happens after that? And their bullpen is really shot.
Well, I think it's going to be Evaldi game 1, Montgomery game 2 because of Montgomery pitching last night. Scherzer probably go game 3. Who went game 4?
Scherzer? Did you actually just say Scherzer?
He'll pitch. Boch will throw him out there. I guarantee it.
Yeah, so for 2 innings or 3 innings, his shoulder is gone.
Yeah, he'll still pitch. They don't have any pitching.
No, they don't, and that's
they don't have any starters.
It's going to be a big favorite in this thing. They'll be minus 140 or something like that, and the Diamondbacks are really a better team.
Who pitched game 4 in the ALCS for Texas?
Who started? Who was?
Haney.
Haney.
And Dunning.
Dunning didn't pitch.
Right.
Wow. You almost the way it's set up. I mean, there'll be no rainouts with 2 domes, so there'll be
good weather. It'll be nice.
Yeah,
the roof will be open here. I'm sure the roof.
Yeah, maybe now that we're finally getting into the 80s.
We'll get in the 80s next week. The roof will be open. The place will be 48,000, and it's going to be pretty exciting for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I may have to go myself. That's going to be fun.
There you go, Dan. You should.
Marty, we looked at this situation, this whole playoff deal, and you saw the top seeds in the Braves and the Dodgers and the Orioles kind of go down early. Do you think 5 days off is too much for having a 162 game schedule? You get the top seeds. Is that a concern?
I think it is a concern. Do we have a large enough sample size to say that this is really, really a problem? And I don't think we have that yet. I just don't think we have it yet. This is a tournament. And if you're hot and you get your pitching and you get your hitting and everything else, you've just played for 7 months, to have 3 days off versus 5 days off, I don't necessarily buy it. And, the old argument is it didn't bother Houston. Well, Houston sort of stopped hitting a little bit here when, this last couple of days against Texas, but that's well into the tournament. Right. So I think we need more of a sample size, really.
What do you think of this? I threw out a proposal because I think you play a 162 game schedule, it should mean something.
Yeah.
If you're going to get a first and be that top record, what do you think instead of having it should be tough? Like Arizona's a 6 seed. They made it to the World Series. Great. They did it. They earned it. But I think it should be tougher. What do you think of the season ends on Sunday? The wild card games start Monday, and you got 3 days to play in the top seeds park. The games are over by Wednesday at the latest. No days off. Start the NL Division Series on Thursday. That way, the 1 and 2 seeds only had 3 days off. And let those wild card teams that really probably never would have got in 10 years ago, with the format, they've added 2 teams. It used to be 4. Now it's 6. Make those guys earn it. Spend no days off until the first set of games in the division series is played and they switch parks. Then they can get a day off. I think that gives a little bit of boost to a meaning to a 162 game schedule. Otherwise, the 162 games is it's like crazy. What does it mean?
Well, it's a good point. It is the tournament. Let's face it. Major League Baseball sets up the rules. You got TV
controls it.
And you got TV to consider. You got a little bit of travel to consider. You have to get the teams, from one venue to another, maybe across country and all that. It may be, Dana, it may be that they have to come up with something. But let's face it, it's a tournament, and that's what they want. It's built for TV, it's built for drama. They want every game to be game 7 or game 5 of a 5-game series, and that's what they live for. That's why they made a 3-game series, so they can have drama. After the first game, you've got drama, and that's what they're trying to sell. So as long as you can keep the drama going, I think your idea may be okay. You just cut down the advantage of a team that didn't win a division, having days off to prepare their pitching and stuff like that. There's the other thing is in that 3-game series, maybe make one game a doubleheader. Where you have to do that. So you play one game, and then the Tuesday, or if you start on Tuesday, the Wednesday is 2 games in that day. So your pitching is a mess, and then all of a sudden you got to start the series on Friday. So maybe you do that.
Well, they make it, like in the NC2A March Madness tournament, the 16 seeds, they make it tough on them. A lot of times the first top seeds play in their region. They don't have to travel far because they earned that top seed. I think you got to make it tougher on the bottom seeds because let's face it, the Giants under the leadership of Brian Sabian and Ned Colletti, when they took over in 97, they had 8 straight winning seasons and they would have made the playoffs all 8 years under today's format.
Yeah.
But because, there was limited number of spots, they missed out in 98 and 99 and
the TV
01 and 03 and 04 or 04, excuse me.
Yeah, the TV runs it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Team. And then it's the tournament is such a big deal. It's like the season didn't even happen.
Yeah.
Who can remember the Diamondbacks lost 23 out of 30 in July and August, and they were given up for dead at that point.
Yeah.
So the one thing that should happen is they should reseed after the first round. Because there's no reason that the winner of 3-6 gets to play the 2 team. Because that 6 team usually knocks out the 3 team. We've seen so the 2 team is getting the 6, and the 1 team's got to play the winner of 4 and 5. And usually, that's
that 4-5 is generally the best wild card team.
Well, exactly. I mean, look, the Marlins and Phillies, and then all of a sudden now the Phillies got the Braves got the Phillies. When really the Braves, if they got the
Diamondbacks.
Maybe would have beaten the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks didn't have it together at that point.
Yeah, I like that.
That should happen without a doubt. There is no clear argument to me to not reseed these teams after the division series.
Either that or let the first seed choose. Say, hey, maybe that seed that is California team, and they don't want to, the Dodgers. Maybe they want to stay in California instead of travel.
You can make it crazy. Make it make it miniature golf. You gotta hit it over the elephant, and
there we go.
Make it crazy. Make it as crazy as you want. Crazy. Here's crazy. You get to pick the team you want to play, and you get to tell what pitcher you get to see. We'll go back. We'll go back.
There we go. And maybe tell them what pitch is coming.
Yeah, we'll go back to 1870 when the hitter could tell the pitcher, "I want the ball right here."
Yes, yeah. There we go. Yeah. Well, the playoffs are not the only news. We've got a chat full of predominantly Giants fans, and today, as expected, the Giants are naming Bob Melvin as the next manager of the franchise. It was, widely expected when the season ended that it would most likely be Melvin. And then when the Padres said, no, we're going to retain him, there was still talk. And then when they allowed, the Padres said, yeah, you can interview him. You pretty much could bet your mortgage, bet everything, bet your life savings that Melvin was going to be the next manager. What's your thoughts on that? And give us the laydown. What do you think?
A lot of things happening. By the way, my daughter Bonnie and my grandson Noah are watching. They've texted me and
fantastic.
Hello. Great.
So let them know if they want to ask a question, how to do it, if they want to do that.
Yeah, just type in the chat.
Type right in the chat. Yeah.
Very good. All right. How did this all happen? Well, Bob Melvin wanted to get out of there way back, I'd say mid-season, maybe July, when this thing just fell apart in San Diego. The general manager got very involved in the clubhouse, got very involved with the team, and Bob Melvin's authority really was undercut. The big stars weren't playing well. The bullpen was a mess. Middle of the season, they had Suarez was out, Garcia was out, the lefty was out, Hader was still there, but they had a real bullpen issue. They never could hit right. Machado was hurt all year. And then the general manager got involved. So Melvin really was not happy there. Well, the Giant thing now falls apart. All right, so Farhan is now put in the position where he's got one more year left on his deal. And the ownership, the fan base, Larry Krueger, on his rant, everyone in the world said, we need a new manager. And basically, the ownership listened. And Farhan really, I think, was pressured into getting rid of Kapler. So now Kapler's gone. So what does he do? Well, he's got to now step back a little bit from the dramatic analytics that he had as part of everything that Kapler did, because it didn't work. It didn't work necessarily, not really on the field, but it didn't work with the fan base, with San Francisco, with the ownership, and with everybody else. So he has to now get a manager. Kapler's gone. So he's got to get a manager, but he still is so deeply in analytics, he really has to get someone he can trust, because he's got the analytics department of NASA. He's got, 200, 300 people working there. He's not going to give that up. So he's got to get someone that he can trust, because he's got one more year left on his deal. And if he gets someone in here that says, hey, Farhan, I don't like what you're doing, and they have a rift, well, Farhan's job could be at stake. So he had to get someone that he could trust and didn't need an explanation. He couldn't hire someone that you said, well, who's he? The bench coach where? What is his background? Why would Stephen Vogt be good in this clubhouse? So Melvin now looks like he's a possibility, but of course San Diego says, well, we're going to keep Melvin and we're going to keep Preller. Everything is fine here. But the other thing about San Diego was they lost the second most money in baseball last year. And they have unequivocally said, look, we're going to trade people. They're talking about trading Soto. They're talking about cutting back payroll. Part of that is the manager. And frankly, they don't want to pay Melvin $4 million. It's the $4 million is that important. So you couple that with the fact that he cannot get along with Preller. It's irrevocable. It's irreconcilable. It's a divorce. It's whatever you want to call it. They cannot get together. So they told Melvin, if you can make a deal, we're not going to stand in your way. Well, for the Giants, this was perfect, because here's Bob Melvin. He's got 10 or 11 years with the A's. He's managed 3 different clubs. He's been manager of the year a couple of times. He's a former Giant. And behind the scenes, he's let everybody know his dream job in his life is to manage the San Francisco Giants. So with all that being said, the Padres say, hey, Bob, if you could make it happen, go ahead. And he got involved with the Giants, and Farhan said, this is now safe for me to do it. Melvin knows analytics, even though the A's have cut back their analytic department tremendously. When he was there in the heyday, he knows how to deal with it. But he's still a veteran manager. He's someone who manages with his eyes as much as with the numbers. So the fan base gets appeased, because now they have a manager who's, can stand up to Farhan and is not a robot.
Hmm.
And also, he's got a good job because he's where he wants to be. And Farhan can kind of trust him to take the pressure off of Farhan. Now, Melvin can be the guy that can be the front guy and can talk to the audience and can talk to the fan base, where Kapler couldn't do that. Kapler couldn't pull it off. So, as Kapler was eroding, the spotlight went from Kapler, it went to Farhan. Now, the spotlight is off Farhan as far as that's concerned with the manager. Now, Farhan now has more trouble because he's got to put a team together.
Mm-hmm.
And now you look at Arizona, the way they play, and you look at the speed they have with the youth they have, with the bullpen, with the arms they have in the bullpen, with what they have coming up in the minor leagues. And you realize they made some trades at the deadline. They brought in Tommy Pham. They made a great trade for Gurriel and Moreno. They gave up a player and got 2 back. They've actually got it into the baseball world, something Farhan has not done.
Right.
So now the pressure is on him to do that. He doesn't have to worry about the manager. He's going to take care of everything else, but he's now got to do the other part of his job. So he's talking about, well, we're going to go to Korea and get somebody. We'll go to Japan and get somebody. How about going to the Cardinals and getting an outfielder, something like that? Or make a trade, give up a couple of your minor leaguers and get some players in here who can compete.
Well,
And
let me ask you this, Marty. Do you trust? I mean, you just laid it out there that Farhan now just has to focus on the one task of improving the team. I mean, he had that task at the deadline, did nothing, and then said, well, I guess if I wanted to give up, a 4 and 5 to pick up a 4 and 5 starter, I would have had to give up half the team. Well, why not give up your 4 and 5 starter like Alex Wood and trade some pieces for the future? He did nothing.
no,
And my concern is that Farhan, and maybe with 1 year left on his deal, he knows it's make or break, and he actually makes moves. But it feels like he's never made moves unless they were safe, and it looked like he was definitely winning the deal. He never took risks to trade anything away to get anything.
he likes to work on the margins.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Those are his words. He likes to work on the margins. It doesn't work.
Nope.
Not San Francisco. You can do this in Pittsburgh or Kansas City, and no one's going to blink. You can't do it in San Francisco. You've got to get away from the margins. You've got to build a team. Yes, Patrick Bailey was terrific. Yes, Luciano looks like maybe he can play, but he's never played in the big leagues, and you just can't make him the shortstop. It's very dangerous to do that. Yes, Tyler Fitzgerald had 6 good games at the end, and it looks like he can run a little. You can't make him the center fielder and say, this is what we got. You've got to develop people and develop it intelligently. He
Mhm.
does not have the wherewithal to go out and build a team through trades. He doesn't want to do it. It's not the way he operates, and we've seen him for 4 years now. And it's going
5,
to take a lot to make him do that. And let's see if he can. His job is at stake. If he
Why
does,
do you think they just didn't do what the 49ers did when they brought in Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch together? Just start over with a
Yes.
instead of leaving
This is
him
San
on a
Francisco,
1-year deal.
you don't start over in San Francisco. You don't use the word rebuild or anything like
But
that.
just a fresh new look, a whole new
Well,
GM, and I call him GM, president of baseball, same title. It's
Well,
just
he-
the title.
they brought in the right concept when they made the transition from Brian Sabian and Bruce to the next generation, as Larry Bear likes to call it, and the analytics and all that. That's a big part of it. It's just they ended up with the wrong duo to make it happen. They went overboard. They didn't just look at Chris Young in Texas.
Mhm.
This guy went out. He spent money. He got Simeon. He got Seager. He made trades for Montgomery. He signed DeGrom. He got Robbie Grossman. Everything possible this guy could do, he did it to make his team better. That's what they needed. And they still love analytics and all that stuff, but you got to go out and not be afraid to move players around to make your team better. That's something he didn't
Right.
do. The analytics he could do, and he could get on the margins and do that waiver wire and bring in.
He also had the support of ownership, which it feels like the Giants ownership has, and I put most of this on Greg Johnson. It feels like Greg Johnson is more concerned with breaking even or having a profit than really spending the money to put the best ball club possible out on the field.
Not anymore. Now, that may have been okay for the first few years, but that's changed.
I mean, he made that statement though a month or two ago.
Yeah, but they're feeling it. They know it.
I hope they're feeling it.
They're feeling it in ticket sales and season tickets, and that's why the manager hire was so important, because you didn't want to go into now the holidays are coming up with Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's and all that. You're going to sell a lot of tickets. This is when you start selling tickets. You didn't want to go into this period with a manager that you said he was the bench coach in Kansas City.
Right.
You didn't want to do. Now they got someone, at least they can say, hey, we got Bob Melvin. We love Bob Melvin. Bob Melvin's a manager. He's a pro. We're going to be better. So now that's step one. Now step two is improve the team through free agency, through trades, or something like that. You can't stand pat and just say, well, we're going to be better next year. Don't worry. I'm sure Casey Schmidt will have a better year. I'm sorry. They're looking up at pennant-winning Arizona Diamondbacks.
Right.
They're looking up at the Padres.
And
They're
the Dodgers.
The Dodgers, and Colorado ain't that far behind.
Right.
So, and the rest of the league, look at the East. Is gone past
so
him.
Marty,
see, he's got work to do. He's got work to do.
Yeah. Couple questions on this front. Looking at the coaching staff, it seems like it'll probably be a complete, clean house. Maybe there's one or two leftovers.
Not necessarily. So you don't know what Bob Melvin, what he can bring with him. Now, the Padres may have said, looks like no compensation is going back to the Padres. It looks that way. Maybe there be some minor leaguer that goes back, so, for the right to talk to Melvin. But part of the deal with Melvin is, we'll let you go, but you can't take anybody with you. Because we want to make Flaherty the manager, and that means we want to still have Ryan Christensen here to run spring training. And
I'm hearing Matt Williams may come back with them.
Well, that we don't know. You see, that's part of the deal. It may be, Melvin, you could go and take Matt Williams with you, because we don't need him here. He's your guy, and he's not going to be the manager. Mike Schilt is going to be the manager. Flaherty's going to be the manager, and we don't need – so that we don't know that. But the Giant coaching staff is the bigger question, because you've got – some have been signed to 2-year deals. The hitting coach, Kai Correa, has a couple of years. Alyssa is still here. You've got that. Andrew Bailey is probably going to go back east. He's going to be in a different role for the Giants. He's not going to be the pitching coach that he was last year. Look, the hitting was awful. So even though the hitting coach has an extra year, they may bring in maybe Pat Burrell will get a shot. Maybe Vogelsong will get a shot. Maybe that'll happen. But I would not expect too many changes in the coaching staff the first year. I think you're probably looking at a lot of the same coaches for the first year with Melvin. He may bring, as I say, the bench coach may come with him, but Mark Hallberg is going to coach third, or Mark Hallberg will become his bench coach. And maybe they'll have Matt Williams will coach third. So there'll be some changes like that, but don't expect, you use the word house cleaning. I do not expect that at all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned Farhan going to need to make some trades. Give me a name that you wouldn't be surprised from one of the Giants minor leaguers, up and coming guys that might be dealt.
I think the pitcher. I think you can look at, and
Harrison?
I don't know all the names. Well, I wouldn't trade Harrison. Harrison to me looks like a major league pitcher. If you needed one more piece, to put you over the top, and you could get that great player back, maybe, but they're far enough away where they got to build a little bit. And they need some veterans in the outfield. And I would think I wouldn't give up Harrison, but there are other pitchers in that minor league system that you can give up. I would target St. Louis. I would look at O'Neill. He had a lot of trouble in St. Louis. The guy is strong.
Oh yeah,
I'd look at possibly Alonso from the Mets. Now, if you could give me Alonso, and I thought Alonso was going to sign, which he probably won't because he's a Boris guy.
Oh,
then
yeah.
you talk about maybe giving up a Harrison or something, or a Luciano for someone like Alonso. But they need look. We're going to watch the World Series next week. We got Adolis Garcia hitting there. We've got Marte. We've got Carroll. We've got Walker. And the Giants have Wilmer Flores. It's got to be different.
Yes.
It's got to be different. And Lamont Wade, as much as we love him, and Mike Yastrzemski and all this, these guys we're not going to see them in October. And when you look at the other teams, just look at the players that they have and the youth that they have. Arizona ran all over the Phillies. Arizona was better than the Phillies. They ran them out of the ballpark. They hit the ball the other way. They hit the ball up the middle. Their bullpen, everybody threw 97, 98. They threw strikes. They didn't walk people. And they got it done. He had his 3 lefties. He pushed the kid, Sour Frank.
He did.
September 5th, he pushed the heck out of him. He walked the park all the time, but they still put him in there. They put a team together. This little Alec Thomas, who I saw last week.
Oh, he's great.
Alec Thomas is a great player. It's a great player. He can hit the ball out of the park. He can
speed,
run
defense, unbelievable center fielder.
The kid coming up, Lawler at short.
Oh yeah, Jordan Lawler is going to be good.
It's funny. I watched him the other day take infield, and the guy's hands are perfect. I mean, it's like velvet. Watching him with his hands, and they were so good. Then Perdomo came out, and I realized how good he is.
Yeah,
and we're not talking about Luciano or someone like that, who's learning how to play shortstop. These guys are legitimate shortstops right now. And then you look at the catcher. Bailey is terrific, although his offense went down tremendously. But Moreno ended up hitting third for him and became a force. And he hit the ball the other way. He ended up hitting third for a team that won the pennant.
Well, I think the Giants need to move on from some of these guys that they've had. I know they're inexpensive and they're under control, and that's what they like. But, if you're going to develop guys like, which it seems like he's probably on the way out, Ramos, they haven't given him a shot, but they look like they've given up on him. But you got guys like Ramos and Matos and a couple of other youngsters coming up, and Von Brown's on the way up. But they keep playing the Slaters and the Yazes that are guys that should be 5th or 6th outfielders on most good teams, and they're their top guys.
Well, they got to get away from that if they can. Slater may have some value. It'd be time to always move a guy a year too early than a year too late. I said that before. It may be his time to go. Matos, let him play. Look, this team is not going to go out and win 106 games next year. And as good as the Diamondbacks were and how they turned it around, we saw it coming in spring training. We didn't believe it. But, in spring training, everyone says, watch out for the Diamondbacks. And then they were okay, then they were miserable. And then somehow they got in, and look, they've turned out to be terrific. But we sort of saw that coming. You don't have that feeling with the Giants that kind of team is on the brink once we get to spring training. So it's okay to let Matos play. It's okay to let Ramos play more and see what you have. It's okay to let Luciano play. It's just don't expect that you're putting out a team that's going to win 95 to 100 games. And then if they do, you'll be pleasantly surprised, but lower your expectations. So build up some of the areas where you can, but don't put that pressure on the ball club to say this is a team that's got to get in the playoffs.
Right.
They may not.
Marty,
well, go ahead, Eric.
Real quick question. Farhan's going to kind of have to go out his comfort zone this offseason if he wants to get some of these things done, whether it's trades or free agents. Is there someone in the organization that can help him with negotiations? Because it seems like he fails a lot in that regard.
I don't think it's him. I think it's just, look, they set their sights very high. They do. They set their sights for Judge. They set their sights at Ohtani. They're setting their sights for players that will be in competition with a lot of other organizations. And even though we love the Giants are close to our hearts. The public world, the world out there, the baseball world may not have the same love for this organization that we have. So they may, have to lower their sights a little bit and not put all their eggs in the basket. If we don't get this guy, then it's a complete failure. That's why I say the trades, at least you can control that.
Okay.
Where you can get Bader, or you can get O'Neill, or you can get someone, that may help you. Trying to get free agents is tough. But the way to do it, and I don't think it's farhand recruiting and that kind of stuff, it's money. Money talks. And look, they got money. And if they want to go out and get a guy and they're competing with the Red Sox or the Dodgers or the Cubs, just blow them out of the water.
Yep.
Just do it. If you want that player,
nice.
It doesn't have to be, wins per dollar and blah, 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 and the analytical nonsense that we have to go through. You want that player, go out and make him an offer that he cannot refuse.
Right.
Nothing crazy, but
right.
make him an offer.
I think if
above another offer, because we've learned in all the years of free agency, and it goes back, over close to 50 years already. We've learned in free agency, there's one thing, and that is money talks.
Yep. Here's who I would, if setting my sights on it, that I would not lose out to. I don't think you're getting Ohtani. I think that's a super long shot. I think they can outbid people for the pitcher from Japan. And I think they could get the 25-year-old reigning MVP from the KBO, who's something young. Those two guys. Now you got a starting rotation of Webb and this kid from Japan. I forget how to say it.
Yamamoto.
Uh-huh. And then you've got Harrison and you've got Cobb. You got 4 legitimate starters, and you can worry about the 5th later. Figure that out. But get yourself 4 legitimate starters. Get the kid that can hit like the Dickens and can play a really good center fielder. And he's young. He's 25. Just pay those guys. Yeah. Get those. And the one thing I heard Sean Estes say,
Dan, all you got to do is win 85 games.
85 to 87 gets you in.
That's it. And then if you're doing well at the deadline, you now add at the deadline. So you shoot. Look, the Rangers, what were they, 5th? What number were they? 5th in the wild card? I think, weren't they 5th? I think 5th.
The Rangers were 5th. Yeah,
they were 5th.
Right. They were 5th. Yeah.
They were 5th.
Tampa was 4th.
Yeah, and they were 5th. So the 5th team is in the World Series, and the 6th team is in the World Series. So the goal is to have a decent season, but get in the playoffs, and that means 84, 85 wins, and you're in the mix. So go out and do that. And what you just said makes sense. Get a rotation together, get a couple more players together, and go out and compete. And then hope that a couple of young players come through. But the dead wood they have now, you can't just bring them back and think it's going to be better next year. You have to shake it up a little bit. You have to change it.
Yeah, and I was listening to Sean Estes talk tonight about Melvin, and he mentioned, and I don't know how much this plays a part. I think it's more probably just circumstances than Melvin has an in, but they were mentioning the players from Asia, the people I just mentioned, and that Melvin, when he was at Seattle, he had Suzuki, Aricho Suzuki, and then he had Kim in San Diego, and he had Hugh Darvish in San Diego. Maybe there's a link there. I don't know, but the fact that he's managed some of these guys, and that maybe these players have a good relationship with him. Maybe it gives the Giants a possibility there. I know that's their two targets that they would like. Farhan has visited Japan and Korea, and I've heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, and where I heard it was just in the media, I didn't hear it from a person, was they won't be outbid for those two guys.
We've heard that before. We've heard that before.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what? I think you have a better shot going for those guys because you're in San Francisco. I know Singa ended up in New York, but he particularly didn't want to go to San Francisco. But
Bob Melvin can help because he has dealt with players from the
Japan
East
and Korea,
wherever before. More power to him. Great. If that helps and players feel comfortable working with him, terrific. It's a great asset to have. It is. It's a great asset to have. So I just want to see them do something. I want to see them do something other than just saying, well, we're going to have a new first base coach. Kai Correa is now going to coach first. And
AJ Pollock's coming back.
Well, AJ Pollock, I think, is long gone. If I'm not mistaken. Roberto Perez, hopefully, is gone too. He was your go-to guy in spring training. He's the only guy who would talk to you, remember?
Actually, I went up to him, but I didn't talk much to him. But funny,
he's been asking for you.
I know. There's talk about Joey Bart and Ramos. Maybe that Farhan's not high on either one. It kind of showed in the fact that they continually sent them down, even at the end of the season when they were ready to play.
I know. I don't know what to say about him. I really don't.
I mean, I think Bart would be an excellent backup catcher.
Well, they still need a backup to Bailey. If Bailey gets hit in the head or takes one off his finger, they got no backup to him. So Bart's a very important part of the
Bart and Melvin may connect being both catchers. And Melvin was a backup catcher. Was with the Giants from 86 to 88, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know if that matters in any way, truthfully.
There might be some connection, though, there.
That's just how the organization and the hitting coaches and everyone deals with Bart and how comfortable he is, and he's back and forth to Sacramento. I mean, by taking that logic, Kapler was an outfielder. Did he relate to Ramos any better?
No.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
No. So I just think Melvin is in charge.
Do you think he's going to be given full autonomy to run everything as far as on the field?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean,
he's going to run look, analytics will be part of it.
Did Gabe have full autonomy, do you think?
No. I think things were scripted for Gabe, and he liked it that way. Where, I don't think Melvin's going to go into the season with openers, with three openers.
Right.
I don't think Melvin's going to feel comfortable. I think he's going to want a bullpen. He's going to want starting pitching. He's going to want more of a traditional-looking team. Now, he may platoon at certain positions and all that. May require that, depending on the players he has. But pitching-wise, I think he's going to have a whole different approach to the pitching than Kapler had.
Here's a question from Joe Schmo. That's a good name. Could Bart play first?
Well, who knows? Tell Joe Schmo, who knows?
So, I was never followed a lot of Bob Melvin, even when he was with the A's, because I was more of a National League guy. And I know Melvin won manager of the year there. He was there in 12. I think Farhan was still there the last year or two before he went to LA. Is Melvin, I know the A's were pretty big into analytics as well, but is Melvin his own guy as far as, I know he uses analytics, but does he do a lot of his own, hey, look, I'm going to go with the eye test here. I'm not strictly going by the platoon book.
It's hard to answer that, Dan, until you see the players. You got to see the play. Look, he wasn't going to platoon Tatis and Soto and
Right.
Machado, Cronenworth to some degree, Grisham maybe to some degree. It just depends on the players he's got. That's the whole thing. So let's see what they give him, and whether these. I think he would tend to want to have players who can play full time. But I think the big thing for me is I think the pitching. I think he's going to be a little different in how he handles the pitching and the bullpen and that kind of stuff. And that's where being a catcher comes in. And, look, the guy's managed over 3,000 major league games.
Yeah, 20 years, yeah.
He's been a manager of the year 3 times. He's been in the playoffs. He knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see what he has for a coaching staff. The main thing is they hired the right guy. They had the right guy. And look, Ron Wotus, the professor's still here. Wotus can be a great asset for him in assessing the players and working with the infielders. And Woe is a pro. Rowe's been here, Melvin's been in baseball into the 80s, so is Wotus. So that they're very similar. And Wotus can be a great asset for him to talk with and be part of the brain trust, so to speak. And I think that's an important part for Wotus is here for life, and he'll do whatever they need. If Melvin fell through and the deal didn't happen, then I think Wotus had a shot to be the manager. So he'll do whatever he can to help.
Marty, here real quick.
Bonnie says she asked the question. Is it in the chat?
Bonnie, let's see.
Do I see it in there?
Let's see. We got to go back here.
I'm taking a gander as well.
All right.
Got to make sure in here. Let's see.
Might be way back that we missed.
Yeah, sure. She's not great on the computer. She gets confused, I think.
No worries.
Oh, it was Noah who asked. Okay.
Oh, Noah?
Yeah.
How long ago?
Noah Barr. Noahbar.
Let's see.
I'm going back.
Oh, here it is.
You got it? Go for
Yeah.
it. Hey, there we go.
All right, Noah. What's your question?
In what capacity do you think Wotus could return to the team?
Very good. We were just talking about that. I think very similar to what he's doing now, being an advisor, working with the infielders. Bonnie says I threw under the bus. Well, somewhat. Work with the infielders. He can be an advisor. He can bounce things off Melvin. He can help assess what's going on at Sacramento. So he's a very important. He's what we call the cold water guy. You have to have someone in the organization that says to you, I don't think this is working that well. Why don't you try it? And not be afraid if he says something, he's going to get fired.
Right.
And that's where Woe comes in. Woe has been around so long that he knows how to assess things, and that's where he'll be a help to Melvin.
Here's a question, Marty. Gilbert Gamboa asked this, and this is kind of what's been asked about a lot ever since Buster Posey moved back to the Bay Area. How much influence do you think Buster has on the organization since he's back here in the Bay Area?
I think he's got some. I really do. It just depends how much he wants to be involved. But, it's almost like Jiminy Cricket. He's like the conscience. He's on the shoulder now.
Nice.
You got to be careful what you do now, because Jiminy Cricket's going to say, you can't do it that way. For people who don't know that, that's part of the Pinocchio.
That's great. That's great.
That's what Buster is. He's like Jiminy Cricket. He's a little bit of a conscience now. You just can't do all this crazy stuff and not respect baseball, because you got to go through me too.
I like it.
There we go. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting off season as it's already started. The fact that did I see you put a comment out maybe that the Giants, you cannot hire a manager during the World Series? Is that
right? Well, you can't announce it.
Announce it.
They'll announce it. I think I saw it tomorrow. Yeah, it has to be announced before Friday.
Okay.
Because Friday starts the World Series. They don't want anything to get in the way of the World Series. So
right.
you have to do it. What's today? Tuesday. They have to do it tomorrow or Thursday, and I guess it's going to be tomorrow. So let's see what they say about the coaching staff, though. That'll be something. Maybe we'll have something definitive on that.
Yeah, that will be definitely some real interest to see what they get. I'm hoping that they bring back some of the older guys like Matt Williams.
This is part of the PR thing. This is what I'm talking about. Matt Williams is back. All right,
bring Vogelsong, Williams,
and it's
Burrell.
the old Giants way again, and now people feel better about it.
Yeah,
but you got to win. Look, you have to win. That's the bottom line.
Right.
But you have to stop playing highlights from 2010, 12, and 14. You got to make highlights now.
Correct.
You got to make.
Absolutely.
You just can't keep bringing back players from 10 years ago because look, kids who are 25 or 24 or 14 then, they don't know what's going on, and now they've got money and it's disposable income, and you want them to buy a ticket. So you got to make their heroes now. They need their heroes now.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's where the fan base has kind of been waning because you don't – every day it was a different lineup. You don't know who's going to be in the lineup. If they're going to be here today, they're going to be gone tomorrow. And it's just it was difficult.
I think we're going to get away from that to some degree. And I think Farhan understands that didn't work completely to churn up these last three spots on the roster continuously the whole year. You better have a team out there.
Right.
And then if you want to work the margins,
right.
If somebody gets hurt, fine. But you can't make that your move and say, hey, we got a homestand coming up and the Cubs will be here. And guess what? We just picked up a guy from the Pirates who was released 3 years ago, but he had a good on-base percentage.
Yeah.
You can't say that.
You can't.
You cannot do that. You've got to now go out and compete and win with players that you can build with. And that's the key. And hopefully trades, free agency, or development of their own players, whatever it is, it's time for it to happen. And I think everyone's ready for that too.
Yes.
But the first step was getting the manager, and they didn't miss on this. They got someone that they can be proud of, and that's the key. They can be proud. That's the choice. The Giants have a guy, and now we can all dream that maybe things will work out. Melvin will do a great job, and things will get better. So this was the first step.
All right. What else you got? You got anything else there, Dan?
Is Dan still awake?
Yeah, I'm here. No, right. I'm good. I'm good.
In that part of Arizona.
Any questions in the chat there?
Yeah, let's see what we got here. Let's take a gander. Yeah, we're talking about people getting after the analytics. Oh, here's Joe Schmo again. This is free agency. He says Cody Bellinger and Michael Brantley. I don't know about Michael Brantley. Cody Bellinger?
Why not? Hey,
why not?
You can put Cody Bellinger out there. And look, I don't know if I trust him to have the kind of year he just had again.
Right.
However, he's a pro. He can play a great outfield. And, why not?
And how about Jorge Soler? He's a big right-handed bat.
Absolutely. Why not?
I think I'd like him as a DH, I think, better than John Peterson.
Look at the way Garcia strikes out 4 times and then hits a slam, and now he's the MVP. Soler, 37 home runs and struck out probably 175 times. It's okay. We like guys like that. Yeah, guys like that can help.
Exactly.
Dan lives in the part of Arizona where they go to sleep very early. So I get concerned when I'm looking at him that he's falling asleep.
I was checking out the Warrior game too. It's down to the final few minutes. So I was
kind of what it's like in Surprise. They don't understand that.
Yeah. So, are you catching any Arizona Fall League games at all?
Not yet. Nope. I've kind of been into this. Usually, lately, since 2016, October's been. Well, I come back and I'm here and just kind of first 3 weeks kind of unwind a little bit. But I've been to so much baseball. It's like the playoffs again for me. It's like 10, 12, and 14. I mean, I went to the division series. I went to 3 games last weekend, and I'm going to be in Florida for a few days, and then I'm coming back, and I'm going to be out at the ballpark next week, and it should be tumultuous. All the national writers will be there. Bochy will be there.
Mm.
It's going to be, it's going to be going to the ballpark at noon and having games at 5:00 and, being out there, 8 or 9 hours. So I'm still working. I'm still talking ball, and there's Nightingale and John Heyman and, all the different writers from all around. So Barry Bloom. So it's kind of been fun to be out there.
That's great. Are you going to be able to get some interviews while you're down there?
No, not really.
No, just going to enjoy it.
Well, what am I going to do with them?
True.
That's the thing. If I was thinking about that, if I could do something I could use next year on the show, but everything is so timely now. I'm really more just talking to people about things like we just talked about last week. Bob Nightingale told me, he said they're going to get Melvin. He insisted last week that the Giants were going to get Melvin.
Interesting.
That the Padres were going to let him go, that there was no way he was coming back. And Nightingale was adamant about it. And in fact, I lost $1 to him on the bet.
That's funny.
Yeah. So it's that kind of stuff for me. It's just talking to everybody and seeing everybody and feeling baseball. So for me, the month of October, it's like I'm still in action again.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's all happening right here, right here in our backyard. Who would have thought? Like you said,
say it again. The Diamondbacks won the pennant.
That's incredible.
Can you
believe?
believe
Who would have thought 2 months ago when the Diamondbacks were?
That's why this tournament is nuts.
Yeah,
it's all a tournament of series. But a 7-game series, you get to see a team. You get to understand by the end of it who's who. You really do. 7 is enough.
Yeah, I think definitely 7's enough. I like the new 3-game format instead of the one and done. I know there's a lot of drama in that one game, but I like the 3. And
the 3. Come on, every game is an elimination game.
Yeah,
and so, you love it.
I like the fact that they all play in one ballpark. That first round series. So I think the Giants, I've been really critical. We've been critical of the situation.
Yes.
It's been frustrating as, following the team, watching other teams make moves, and the Giants were in the first wild card position at the trade deadline and watched other teams make moves. And by golly, the Diamondbacks didn't have a closer. They went out and got Sewald. They went out and got Tommy Pham. They went out and picked up Jace Peterson, who didn't do much, but they made moves, and look where they're at now. And the Giants did nothing, and that is so frustrating to see.
I think those days are over.
Yeah.
I think there's a mandate that's been given to make this thing happen and to get involved with the world of baseball and not just sit back and hoping that you can find the guy in the bottom of the scrap heap that had a good arm 6 years ago, and now he's better.
Yeah, hey, Marty, do you remember this little guy, the Mini Pence?
Oh yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah, his father is in the chat. He goes by senior softball games.
Is that Pence or Brian Wilson? I can't tell.
Yeah, it's Mini Pence. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I saw a picture of me with the Brian Wilson beard the other day. I like that. Very good.
This kid is 10 or 11 now. He can hit the ball. We've played some highlights of him.
It came back to me. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Funny. Yeah, that's what I do out there. Do I have a meal in front of me there? I can't tell. Do I have food?
It looks like there's a sandwich there.
That's my turkey sandwich with French fries. That's right.
There we go. There we go. Well, I don't think the Giants, the thing about baseball, you can improve your team enough in the off season to make yourself competitive. And like you said, 85 to 87 wins. That's only an extra 7-8 wins for them.
That's right.
And
just get in. It's just get in this thing and things can happen.
Right.
So make it happen. Come on. We need some enthusiasm and, rebuild DeSclafani, Wood, whatever, it's enough. It hasn't happened. And let's get some different people in there and go for speed and go for some youth. And let's make that happen somehow. And
I love it.
Happen.
I like that idea.
Yeah, it's no good.
Well, Marty, we're going to let you go. You've been gracious to spend an hour with us. I know it's getting late for you over there on the east side, right?
Come on, in Mesa here, we stay up late in Mesa. We're up till 10 o'clock in Mesa, believe me. You eat dinner at 3 o'clock. That's the difference.
That's Sun City West. Well, I'm in Sun.
That's where you are.
Well, I am technically, but I got kids in my neighborhood still. I'm in an unincorporated area, but I got a school bus that pulls up.
You are people 75 years old. Those are kids.
That's funny.
Oh man, what can I do to get one up on Marty? I'll tell you what. I'm going to tell everybody what I said about Blake Sable in spring training. First week, I said he's gonna make the club.
He's gonna make the club. Yeah, you said that.
You were all over that because he was the only guy who would talk to you. That was
man.
Blake. Now Blake Sable's a good project. There's something there. He can run. He can lay a bunt down. He can play the outfield. He's got some power.
Yeah, make him the DH.
I like Blake Sable. I like what he brought to the team.
Yeah,
I do. I like him. But look, the guy made it the whole year as a Rule 5. That is not easy to do.
Right.
And he was a big part of the team. So, yeah.
Do you think he sticks the whole year next year, or do you think now that they have options, they can send him down?
That's true. They could. It just depends what it looks like.
Yeah.
But he's a third catcher, in an emergency. So he's got a spot. I like what he did. I do.
Yeah.
I do. And Casey Schmidt, there's some things people I want to see, and I want to get out to the fall league or something. I'll try to do it before Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Well, great. We'll have to do this again, maybe after some winter meetings. Maybe we get some signings happening.
Yeah,
I'm not going to get too much into the rumors. I've pretty much set it out. I'm not going to get excited about the rumors that happen that say they're going to sign this guy. They're in the running. I'm just going to wait until it happens, because all the talk in the world, it seems like, Judge is coming, and he obviously never was.
Yeah. So the Giants just sent out a notice tomorrow, 10:30. Giants told press conference tomorrow to make a big announcement.
I wonder what that is.
What it is.
How about that? Oh, very good. All right, so that's good. So we got that cooking tomorrow, and that's just the first step. So I think they did well with the first step. So let's see where it all goes from here.
Well, great. Right. Well, thanks for joining us, Marty. Check out Marty. His Twitter is back up and running after, it said Baseball Marty, right? At Baseball Marty.
Marty, and it's fun, and I'm going to enjoy the World Series, and I'll be tweeting about it, and stuff like that. So it'll be.
Give us your prediction. Who's winning? How many games?
Arizona in 6.
Ooh.
Arizona in 6. Okay. I'm going to go Texas in 7.
Okay. All right.
Interesting.
Well, we have something to bet on now.
There you go. That's going to be great.
All right. Dinner at the early.
Eric, what do you got?
I got Texas in 6.
Okay. Texas in 6.
Yeah, I'm a pitching guy, and you get to this stage of the season,
true.
You got to show me you can pitch, and that's the thing for me.
Pitching. Absolutely.
And
that defense.
You can't hit
that Texas lineup. That Texas lineup is pretty stout, 1 through 9.
Yes, it is. It's very good, and so is the Phillies. Well, the Phillies were not that good. Phillies could be. How about Castellanos? How about him?
For the series.
Wow.
Noah Barr
Turner,
says Texas
Turner had a rough series too.
Turner killed him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Turner killed him. He can. Boom. Forget it. He happened to run into one tonight. You got past Schwarber and Harper, and basically you were done. Remuto could get a hit once in a while, but Phillies didn't hit enough for me.
No, they didn't.
Diamondbacks really out hit them.
They sure
Smart
did.
hitting. So what does Noah have? Noah's got
Noah Barr says Texas in 6. I like that kid.
All right. Well, he's probably, his mother probably told him to say that.
Is that your daughter's son?
Yes, this is Grandpa's daughter's son.
Okay. Okay.
That's
So-
our fantasy football team. Grandpa's daughter's son.
Oh, I
There you
put the wrong. I put the wrong comment up. I was putting no. I thought that was Noah. It said Nate Dogg. Where Noah's?
No,
Where
it's just
oh,
above
there it
that
is.
here.
There it
It's
is.
up
There
there.
it is.
Yeah.
Texas in 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Yeah,
All right.
but this is a good one. It's a good World Series, so we'll have fun. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward. Good to
Well,
see
excellent.
you, Eric. Take care.
You
Good to
bet.
see you, Marty.
Blue skies and tailwinds there, Marty.
All right, be well. Take
All right.
care.
Take care, Marty. All
You
right.
got it.
Bye. All right, everybody. That's Marty Lurie, and you heard it there. He said Arizona in 6. It'll be a fun World Series. I'm going to stick with Boch and think he gets it done, but it would be pretty wild if Arizona pulled that off. So, but that's all we've got here tonight. I don't know when our next. You doing a show tonight, Eric? Or
No, I'm probably gonna wait a couple of days. I'm gonna change it up a little bit too. I realize I probably need to be careful in what I say in some of the stuff.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
get where
I'm
you
watching
smell
the
what I'm
final
saying.
25 seconds of the Warrior game here.
Who's gonna
Don't
win?
blow it, chat. I don't want to see anything. I'm not going to look at the chat. I'm just going to look. I'm looking at my
cool.
phone.
Is it close?
It's a 2-point game with.
Oh, okay. Robert, thank you. He said, "Great job, Dan and Eric, getting Marty on." That was all Dan. That wasn't me. That Dan's getting the guys on. That was awesome. And Eddie, you are correct. Yes, sir, you are correct. He said that the World Series would be under a roof. He said that yesterday, but that was before Game 7. Oh, you're muted.
Like the whole thing will be under a roof, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is.
Bochy or Bum is getting a 4th ring. Good point, Nate. Bumgarner will get a ring if the Arizona
Bum will get a ring. Wow. I heard Bochy or Mad Bum texted.
Yeah, you know
Bochy.
that was all tongue in cheek.
That was just tongue in cheek stuff, joking.
Yeah.
But all right, man. I don't know what else we got tonight. I think that's about it.
Senior's asking, are you going to go over to Larry's?
I am. He's got a show going with the Warriors.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Doesn't look like it's going to be a winning show. They're down 4 with 10 seconds left.
Mad Dog must be retiring, right? Did you hear what he said?
What's that?
He said that if the Diamondbacks win, he's going to retire.
If they win tonight or if they win the World Series?
If they win tonight, that he's gonna retire.
Shoot, I'll take the job.
There you go.
I can talk like him. Oh, what are you doing? Come on.
Oh man. Senior says stay here.
All right.
I could.
I'll be right back. I'm going to watch the end of this game.
Okay, go for it.
Carry
I'll
on.
carry it. Got it. Lou Marson says the World Series, this World Series will be the least watched World Series. I don't know, man. You really think so? I like what Dan said. I think it's kind of a Cinderella thing. You got the Diamondbacks, who no one thought would get to the World Series. Yeah, they don't have a big market, but I mean, as far as a baseball story is concerned, come on. If you're a fan of baseball, you got to love this, right? Let's take away, regional fan bases. As a baseball fan, I think this is great. You got Bochy going again. He was out of baseball for 3 years, comes back, goes to the World Series, could get his 4th World Series ring with the Texas Rangers. And then you got the Diamondbacks, who came out of nowhere, and they could win their World Series. I mean, I like it. For me, I like it. Let's see. Dan and Eric oh, that's right. We're going to have to talk about that later for sure. When Dan gets on, I'll have to mention that. Yeah, me and Dan are facing off this week in fantasy football. It's going to be fun. All right, what do we got here? Dan, did you see? Yeah, we saw the trade. We saw it. We'll see. Has it got nixed yet? Thanks, Justin. Appreciate that. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. Will there be coverage tomorrow? I probably not. I don't think so. I mean, we already kind of know what it is. Unless something earth-shattering happens during the press conference that, maybe we haven't covered. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Listening to the Warriors with Tom Tolbert on Cyrus. Nice. or Sirius. Sorry, Sirius. What else we got in here? All right, what do we got? Yeah, I think it'll be good. As a baseball fan, yeah, absolutely. Why not? I'm not just the Giants fan. I like baseball. I love it. I mean, post-series baseball postseason baseball is just fantastic because you never know what can happen. Just like they said, when a team gets hot, they could carry them through all the way through the tournament. They just happen to hit at the right time. I like watching these games. Yeah, I agree, Tom. Who cares about TV ratings? Unfortunately, that's kind of what makes everything go now. That's the unfortunate part. I like the game. I want to enjoy the game. I could care less about all this other crap. It doesn't affect me, right? I just want to watch some damn good baseball. No, not tonight there, PK. Not tonight. I know some, there's always something happening, but I'm probably going to adjust it a little bit. I'm probably going to, instead of saying current events, I'm going to talk about military conversations. I want to get kind of more into that, maybe stay away from some of this other stuff. Cause I don't want YouTube to freaking look at me, they could look at me a year from now, see something that I said that may not, jive with whatever they feel. And then next thing you know, they pull my channel down, but yeah. So I'm going to change it up just a tad and just stay specific with what's going on militarily. But, that's going to involve a little bit of the diplomatic and political, but not to this more speculative stuff. But yeah, maybe in a few days or something. We'll see what happens. What's up, Kyle? Yeah, you're late. Just going to have to go back and watch it, I guess. Yeah, Marty was on with us for a good hour. It was good. Think you'll enjoy it. Don't get me started, Eric. Don't get me started. Gilbert, hey, I appreciate that, Gilbert. Thanks. I try to just, pass along, certain things. I'm sure, I'm not stating anything that's like incredible. I'm not trying to be earth shattering with information, just passing on what, kind of what I think from the history that I've dealt with and just pass it on into situations that are going on. Cause I mean, you don't see, it's a little bit different in today's world because you're able to see things real time. In the past, when you're covering conflicts like this, you had to wait a while. Sometimes you had to wait 24 hours. Now everything's just at your fingertips within literally seconds. So yeah. Hey, thank you, Lou, for showing up. Appreciate that. Yeah, it was fun. Marty's old school. Yeah. Marty's old school. Absolutely. Yep. YouTube. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If only that was true, PK. Let's see. The MLB playoff format is dumb. The 2015 Giants won 84 games. Yep. And I don't like that third wild card either. I really don't. It kind of waters down the competition a little bit. Yeah, you get more interest to a certain extent, but what is the quality of that team coming in? Honestly, if the Giants squeaked in, how well would they have done? Yeah, how bad would that compared to the other teams that they would have had to face and how the Giants were constructed? Come on. That would have been a bloodbath. Yeah, I heard about that too. I don't know what the actual story is on that, but yeah, I heard about the reports on that. We'll see. What do we got out here? Oh, I think Dan's coming back. Oh yeah, I'm sure there will be hot stove conversation. I'm sure, especially during the winter meetings. That's where it's going to really get. Those what is it about 3 days are pretty intense. So I'm pretty sure we'll be doing stuff with that. Will John Heyman come on? That'd be great. Hey Dan, that'd be a great idea.
John Heyman?
Yeah, maybe get one of these big sports writers coming. That would be something during because it's hot and heavy those like 2 or 3 days during the winter meetings. Yeah, people are asking if we're going to have coverage. We'll have coverage on those like 3 days, right?
In the winter
meetings.
meetings. But yeah, I think we probably will do that. I would love to go.
Oh, if you go down there,
Yeah, I did do the subs right away, so hopefully we picked up some.
Awesome. Yeah, matter of fact,
Yeah, because we had some new comments in there, so they had to join.
Yep. Yeah, there's a few. Oh yeah, his grandson had to join. So his grandson's now, hey, a friend of the show, Marty Lure's grandson. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Guy here. But Senior
Martinez, that trade got vetoed?
No, it didn't.
No. They're not talking about the one tonight, are they? Let me look. I haven't even looked. Wait a minute. Transactions. Oh, crap. It did.
No, I didn't do nothing with that.
I didn't either. That sucks. Come on. How does a guy supposed to approve their team? I wrote something up in the chat. This is what I said in the chat. I said, I don't like
I saw that.
The trade for selfish reasons because I was working on getting Jackson, but you should not be penalized for trying to make your team better and being savvy to think ahead. I will not be vetoing this trade as Bora and Hiroko are both trying to, I mean, Kamara's a good player.
Wow.
Hiroko, I mean, if Bijan got hot and Kamara, that could really help Bora. But it sounds like anybody who's trying to be competitive to win the league, nobody I
think what it seems like, it's like,
yeah, Bora was going to trade the extra quarterback. He was getting an extra piece to trade because Goff or Minshew would be a valuable piece to somebody.
I don't think people want Hiroko to get even better at the expense of.
Yeah, but that's
what I'm guessing. That's what
I know. But how do you win the league?
Yeah.
How do you win the league if you're
going to have to go with what you got. That's what it seems like.
And it shouldn't matter. Bora's winless. He should be able to make trades. I mean, I don't know.
If he had a couple of wins, I think it might be a little bit different.
I might have to refund Bora's money. He didn't even have a chance to
improve.
To improve. Nobody's letting him improve.
As a Senior, we have a big matchup this week. It's me and you. We're facing off.
Me and you. Yeah. Yeah. Geez.
It was funny. I was telling Will B last night. I was debating because I knew I was going to go against you this week. I was like, man, do I want to put Burrow out there against this damn Niners defense? This is before the game, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, man. I might want to start another wide receiver. And then I saw what happened in Minnesota. I was like, oh, man, I think I'm going to start Burrow.
Jeez. Oh, man. I didn't think that trade would get – that's why
I didn't think so either.
I didn't think – so it must be Trock's got to be voting. I don't know. There's 4 people. It takes 4.
See, I thought it was only 5. Yeah, that's crazy.
It takes 4. The other day when I made that crazy trade there was 2 people that vetoed it because it was Will B was definitely one. He showed proof.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who the second one is. Might have been MF. Not sure because he said veto the trade. And so I called up Bora and I said, go ahead and veto it and see if you're the final kill shot, if you're the 4th vote. And he vetoed it because it was a setup. I wasn't going to trade those guys for what I was getting back. He killed it, or he vetoed it, and then nothing happened. And then a few minutes later, I vetoed it, and it says this trade has been vetoed. So I was the 4th vote. So Bora and I were 2 of the 4 votes that vetoed our own trade. So the league is getting to the point where you can't make any good trades if you're one of the top teams.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe. All right. Haruko, send me another deal. I'll get you a quarterback. You need Goff? Send me a deal.
Michael.
Jeez.
Oh, and I guess the Suns won, huh?
Yeah, 108, 104.
Wow.
So
wow.
Michael says, MF says, what a mess. The
that's his line.
That's his line. What a mess.
I use it often.
What a mess, the Giants. What a mess. Yeah. It is kind of a mess. I mean, if you can't make deals, people can get real petty with vetoing trades in fantasy league. Sometimes people will veto just because they want to weasel in and force someone to make the trade with them instead. Yeah. I mean, if I'm Bora, it's like gosh. I don't know.
Is Cy going to be on tonight?
Oh, I got to look. Let me look at the tweet and see. Tweet, Larry there.
That always makes for good YouTube content.
Yeah. He'll be pissed tonight. Larry, let's see. Who's joining? Join Big Frank Red, myself.
Oh, Frank's in there. Cool.
JD, Ryan Smith, Bay Area Baller, Carl Foster, and Cy.
Cy is okay.
I don't know what time is that. Let's see if they've started yet.
I could take a gander here.
Waiting. Let me see
if
I have the link. Okay, I just got the link. They're probably getting ready to go on. Live. So I'll head over there. Cy versus Dan. Yes, that thing is out there, man, for public consumption. That battle, man. I'm gonna lay. I don't have the energy.
You don't have the energy right now to do that.
No, I was just like, come on, and I got this dang concussion. I can't even look at this screen very long. It gets my eyes fuzzy.
Did you start your eye stuff today?
I did, yeah. I got some exercises, some gaze stabilization, some breathing exercises, all connected to the brain, believe it or not. The breathing, some figure eights, it's just weird stuff that gets your brain working. I don't know.
Wow.
I mean, this is what the stuff that, these football players have to do. I mean, you got to really do it a lot just to, yeah. The worst part is my vision is like when I cover this right eye, I could barely see you guys. I can't read the chat at all. And
it's what's weird is because I've noticed it too ever since you've talked about that. I don't know if the chat noticed. Your left eye actually looks different,
really,
than your right eye. It's like it's more open, and your right eye just seems to be more. But this one looks like it's new.
I don't know what the heck. It's a little concerning. I mean, it's 2 weeks now.
Exactly.
My vision, yeah. So,
do you go to a concussion specialist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Will Martinez, I think Ben hasn't been the same since his trade got vetoed. Yeah, man. Don't hold. What was that? Don't hold back, Dan.
I like it. I like that. Yeah, he goes, Dan. I got your back if Cy tries to give you the business.
Nice. How about this one?
Dan pissed off. Oh man.
Just go in there. Hey, Cy, you.
Well, the funny thing is, you're not the only one. I mean, he's gone.
Oh, he's battled with so many people. It's unbelievable. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So that was good tonight. Good to have Marty on.
He seemed invigorated there.
Yeah, I think watching the games too, meaningful games gets you.
It gets your juices flowing. Yeah, exactly.
When you watch meaning, good to see. But I'm not sure when the next show is. Tonight's Tuesday, Friday, World Series start. My guess is we'll come back maybe Friday night. Maybe we'll come back tomorrow night with Melvin news after the
Okay, cool. Someone asking about that. Sure.
Maybe we can play some press conference coverage on the show and just
why not?
I'm happy with the move. I think gosh, at least he's I've met Bob Melvin on the field. My brother went to school with him, Cal.
Oh, well, there you go. Hey, friend of the show.
Oh yeah, my brother knows Bob real well. In fact, he introduced me to Bob Melvin on the field because my brother had passed to get on the field with the A's, had some connections, from he knows the director of operations over there with the A's. Went to school with her and got on the field. And in fact, it's kind of funny. I'll have to go. I met Bob Melvin. My brother said, in fact, I don't know if I have the pictures. I've showed some of the pictures, I think, with my mom.
Yeah, you showed me your mom
Bochy.
with Buster Posey and Bochy, yeah.
Yeah, that was the day I met Bob Melvin. That was back in 2017. And we were walking the field, and my brother goes, "Hey, Bob, this is my brother." And, my brother's an A's fan. He said, he's on the dark side, being the Giants. And funny, because Bob did say, he's on the dark side, all right.
That's funny.
Now Bob's come to the light.
There you go.
So
maybe we could get in there. Maybe, I don't know if we could do it live. Maybe a pre-recorded one. Who knows? Maybe
we might be able to get.
Awesome.
We might be able to get Bob Melvin on the show.
How about that? That would be something right there,
wouldn't it? I'm gonna see. Yeah, never hurts to ask, right?
Worst I could say is what? No. Oh, that's all I can say. All I can say is no.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I've got to go through probably got to go through PR or whatever, but
well, if it's a friend of your brother's, though, maybe it could be a little bit different.
Yeah, let me see.
He's the damn manager. What? Come on.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do? Fire him?
Yeah, exactly. You're fired for talking to NorCal Sports Network. I'm looking for the pictures. I didn't see it anyway. So it was cool. Yeah. So Bob Melvin, Cal grad, Bay Area guy, grew up in Menlo Park, played for the Giants. There you go. That's awesome. If history repeats itself, it would be pretty awesome, because the last time the Giants poached a manager from the Padres, it turned out pretty darn good.
It turned out pretty good 3 years later. Exactly.
Yeah, so let's have history repeat itself, and NorCal Sports will be pretty happy. The worst thing Bob will say will be like Cy yelling at Dan and the chat. Hiroku says, okay. Hey, Hiroku, what's your feelings on this trade, man? I mean, you got it. Dang, that kind of sucks. You make a great deal to finally get a legitimate quarterback, and the league won't let you have a quarterback. If you want Goff, make me a reasonable deal.
Oh, there we go.
We'll do something. I think maybe they'll allow that. Since I'm, not 0-7.
Yeah, exactly.
See what we can do. What was the, what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say to Hiroku. Oh, well, can't remember it.
Oh, you're talking about is he upset with that trade?
Yeah, I'm sure he's pretty frustrated. I would be. I mean, you saw me the other night. I was just like, dang, you can't get a deal done. So I have to keep trying to trade with you. Then send it over, Hiroku. Send that one that you pulled back the other day. I was really intrigued by that one. Justin Herbert on the block. Will B says,
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't. Yeah, but he had Jackson. Are you one of the gang of four, Will? Huh? Will? Are you one of the four?
Are you one of the gang of four?
That's it. What is it? What was the Congress?
Let's not even get there, man.
PJ Walker. You might as well release the guy.
How about real quick? The Republicans, they nominate their guy, and then he withdraws after he gets nominated.
Did he get? Oh, he got nominated and he withdrew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to talk about what a mess? Yeah, Lee, man. Woo.
Oh, let's see. Oh, hell yeah. Will be vetoed that. Yes, says Senior. I just got here, but I'm an original.
I'm an original guy. He's OG.
He's the ringleader. He's Matt Gates. He's Matt Gates.
He's Matt Gates. Oh, man.
We got Gates, and we got who are some of those other guys?
Oh yeah, who was the gang of 8? It was actually a gang of 8 it was 8 Republicans, right?
Yeah, the gang of 8. Now we got the gang of 4. I'm wondering. I know Trock's in there. Could
You don't
it be
think
ML?
Sean would have, would you? Would you?
Sean might be. I don't
Maybe.
know. I'll ask him. He'll shoot straight.
He's trying to hang on too.
Sean's team is not going anywhere. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that CMC was keeping him afloat for much of the season. Now that's kind of.
According to multiple sources, Trock vetoed it too. There we go.
Oh man.
Oh, he's the ringleader of the gang of 4. Will be. maybe. Yeah, it's interesting. We'll see. All right. But they were going to let my other trade go through. The gang of 4. Only 2 of the gang of 4 vetoed it. The other 2 were going to actually let that trade go through. Giving up Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Taylor, and ETN, giving up all my starters for a couple of starters and a couple of bench players, and they were going to we're going to let this go through.
Will Martinez. Real quick. Kyle says he's got a friend in Arizona, and he doesn't know what they're up against. I'm rooting for Texas. That's true. That lineup in Texas can hit. I get what Marty's saying because Arizona will probably have better pitching, but geez, that Texas lineup, they're ruthless.
Yeah.
Will Martinez says, hands down, the funniest, most entertaining league in fantasy football history. Wow. How about that?
Jeez. Yeah, it is. It's pretty crazy.
Or needs to go on strike.
He should, man. He should just I don't know. It's too bad. Yeah. Just trying to figure a way to loan him some players. Jeez.
Who's he going up? Oh, he's going up against MF. It's probably going to be another damn loss, unfortunately. Oh, my gosh.
All right, man. Well, let's see. Let me hear this voicemail from my brother. He might say something about Bob Melvin. Let me mute it here.
All right, cool. Boras should just go nuclear on the league and drop all of his players. Oh. Can you do that? Imagine that. Imagine the feeding frenzy on that. But some people won't be able to get it because, oh, man. Now, how does that work? If he drops them all, it goes to waiver, right? It goes all to where you got to put in waivers. We got a few people in this chat that already blown everything. We should talk wrestling next time. Yeah, we're gonna have to get it back into that. Maybe me and Los could get back into it. Oh, there it is. Okay. So it all goes to waiver claims. Whew. Some people will be left out in the dark.
All right, yeah. So he did say in voicemail about Bob, so maybe we can get something there.
Ooh, boy.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
I might be able to set that up with Bob and Marty or something. Just,
yeah. That'd be great.
Yeah. So Romo, tell Dan I want him to do the World Series. Well, we'll see. Yeah, Bora could wait until someone he likes is at the top of the waiver wire and then just drop guys. Some guys are undroppable, though. Yeah, some guys are undroppable in the league. Exactly.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Can't cut them. They got a lock next to their name. Do you have any?
I have no idea.
Yeah, Burrow and Burrow
Lawrence
would be undroppable, and so would be who's your other QB?
Lawrence. Yeah, he
might be undroppable too. They got certain guys that, certain status, I guess. Well, let's get out of here. If you guys want to go over to the Krug show, listen to some Warrior talk.
Yeah, I think Senior's gathering up all the Kings fans and going to go head over to Larry's channel.
Head over. I'll be over there now. So,
all right, cool. Good show, Dan.
What's our thing? Adios. What do we say?
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci. Ciao. I don't have the energy.
All right.
Later,
Thanks
guys.
for joining, guys. See ya. Woo!